into your parachute. And if it doesn't work, pull it back up. So much for that. So where you from? I live inside the rhythm of a snare drum. I see you looking down. I know here comes the ground. No need to petrify, cause on this place we don't fly. Hey, how's everyone tonight? I know, killer opening. Hi everyone, my name is Richard. I am so excited to be here. I'm gonna be doing a scene for you from my show. It's called I Have to Do This. And to give you a little bit of context as to what I'm gonna be doing for you, Um, okay, so basically the show is like a play, right? Kind of. What? Okay. Okay, so the show is like kind of like a play a little bit, and it's a story. It's a story about love, and the the scene I'm going to be doing for you is where like the character that I play is in a budding relationship, right? And so this is like in the part where they're like closer, deeper in it, and sometimes to connect with others or to connect with yourself, you have to do things that scare you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Seriously, seriously. And so, I thought the best way that I could illustrate that would be to bring us all to New Jersey, um, to specifically Six Flags Great Adventures. Thank you so much. And so, okay, I'm just gonna get started. Okay. I'm sorry. Hold on. Stop. Sorry. I just it just hit me that like I like choose to do this. So, like, so sorry. It's like really sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get into the scene. What? Yeah, yeah, a little bit. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. I don't know. I just yeah, yeah. I'm a little bit nervous. Yeah. Uh, well, it's just it's my okay. Well, like I've never been on like a roller coaster before, and so like I'm just like a little bit nervous. Yeah, I know, I know. Like, why would I bring us here? Like, well, I don't know. Like, I thought it'd be fun for us to just like try something. You know, I know you like roller coasters, and I've never been on one, but I used to come here a lot when I was in middle school, and we're here meeting my parents, which they love you. Aw. That's sweet. Yeah, and like I used to come here every year because I was in band, and yeah, like I told you that. Right, right, exactly. Yeah, I played the trumpet, and so we used to come here every year, and after our competitions, and it was always fun to get to miss school and get to be with my friends. But I never got on the rides. Like I was always too scared, so like I would just hang out with the chaperones and kind of sit that out. But like on my way here, I was thinking about it, and I was like, there's actually more chances of us dying in a car accident than like an actual roller coaster accident. Yeah. No, seriously, like I read that on the way here, like how we got here and the way we were gonna get home. Like we have more chances dying that way than like an actual like. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Oh, wow. It's fast. It's fast. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh fuck. Oh my god. Fuck. 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 Oh my thank you. Oh, thank you. I think I fainted. I was so scared. I've never done anything like that before. I, I, I've never felt so close to you. And that was called Roller Coaster. Thank you so, so much. I'm so excited for Ruby's show.
Life is like a movie. Write your own ending. Keep believing. Keep pretending. Life is like a movie. Write your own ending. Keep believing, keep pretending. I put a spell on you because you're mine. You better stop the things you do. I'm not lying. You know I can't stand it. You're running around. You know better, Daddy, I can't stand it. Because you let me down. I put a spell on you because you're all mine. Okay.
Thank you. My name's Loren Kramar. And this is Ryan DeGrey. Look at this food. My God. All right, we have one more song. It's called Hollywood Boulevard. Okay. Yeah.
Welcome to Warner Brothers Studio Tour. If you look to your left in a minute, in a half a minute, now he's coming over. Everybody say hello to the director of the movie. Hello, everybody. My name's Loren Kramar. I'm the director of the movie that your tour guide's talking about. How do you like LA? I hope you love it. Come back now, you hear? See you all later. back to you, notepad. I'm gonna have my way with you, you. Come on, pencil, let's show notepad what we can do. Scene 1. Scene 2. Scene 3 through 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 50, and fade out. Fade out. Drive me to Hollywood Boulevard. I wanna see my falling star. Drive me to Hollywood Boulevard. I've got hands and feet to put in the concrete. Move over. Move over. I'm coming through. I'm coming through, only joking, but please get out of the way. Today's a very special day. I, of all people, am getting a star on Hollywood Boulevard. On Hollywood Boulevard. On the walk of fame, on the walk of fame. Do you see it, everybody? On the walk of fame, motherfucker is the name. The walk of fame, the walk of fame. Who wants to live forever? I do. 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 Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Ruby.
Hello, Joe's Pub! Hello! Okay. Give it up for Loren Kramar! And Richard Perez, everybody! take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the ball game, okay? Let's start there. Take me out to the ball game. Essentially, this first line, you're on your knees, honey. That's the energy of the song. You're on your knees pleading to God. Do you see what I'm saying? This energy. Ah! Right? So let's just start the song from there with that energy now that you know it. Think about it. You take me out to the ball game. We're in the prayer. We're praying now, right? We're talking directly to God. You take me out. Where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? To the crowd. Oh my God, the prayer's working. That's the energy of the song. Do you understand what I'm saying? Take me out to the, take me out to the crowd. The prayer's working! Ah! Now we're in the fantasy. Ah! You know what I mean? We're in the fantasy. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's the energy of the song, you guys. Buy me. I'm in the fantasy. Oh my God. There's peanuts. Do you know what I'm saying? Buy me some peanuts. Do you see what I'm saying? God answered your prayer so much so you're at a ball game with some peanuts. But then suddenly you realize, oh my God, you've been deprivational because, honey, there's Cracker Jack right over there. Okay, so that's energy, okay. Take me out to the crowd, high energy, and buy me some peanuts, and Cracker Jack, And at this point you go, I don't care if I ever go back, right? What's back? Do you know what I mean? It's getting existential at this point. Okay, but you're in the fantasy. You don't know how to go back. Home, what is home? Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's root for the home. Whoa, what's home? Do you know what I mean? That hits you really hard. Root for the home team. And then you remember where you were before the ball game. Do you know what I'm saying? Home team. And suddenly reality hits you. And if they... Do you see in this moment how much you're digesting, metabolizing in this line? For the home team. And if they don't win... You know what I mean? And then you go, it's a shame. And then in that moment you realize life is finite. You see what I'm saying? But then you remember, hey, you're in the fantasy. God answered your prayers, so we're going to refer it to, because it's one, two, three, whoa! Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's what that line was. At the old, 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 Thank you, everybody. Seriously. Thank you. Seriously, thank you. Okay, you guys, we're at Joe's Pub. We're at Joe's Pub. You're eating your food. We're at Joe's Pub. And I love every single one of you in here. I do. I'm working on some new material tonight. Yeah, let's bring my guitarists out on stage. We got Leah Hennessy on guitar 1. And we got Jack Kilmer on guitar 2, ladies and gentlemen. Hell yeah. And listen, you know, this is new material. It's it's new material. I developed it in a really unique new way. I sat down and wrote some stuff. I'm not afraid to say that. So let me muse you with my intellect. It's about 30 minutes of this material. You guys are gonna love it. Maybe. And this new material is called Hollywood Soldier. Hell yeah. How are you, Leah? Ready to roll?
I just broke a guitar strap, so I was wondering if I could get another guitar strap.
Do we have another guitar strap in the audience? What about that other guitarist?
I'll go ask Ryan, you start.
Okay, Jack, it's just gonna be you and me up here for a second. That's okay. Jack! I've known Jack since he was 4 years old. Give it up for lifelong friendship. And Leah's known me since I was born. Okay, let's let Leah set up. Here we go, we're getting started. Press play on that thing, girl. The prairies. The prairies are a holy terror of billowing wheat and grass and corn. Way more psychedelic than just wheat, you know. I was given a copy of Sarah Plain and Tall in the 3rd grade, my most suicidal year. There's nothing like being unable to read and unable to charm your teachers as well that makes you feel like you peed your pants and are sitting in its ever-cooling puddle. 3rd grade, however, was the gold rush section of history class. And we learned about the gold rush because I was raised in California. California, where the gold rush was. And I feel bad for anyone who didn't have an entire history section on gold panning, because I did. And that's what school is for. Teaching children what desperate American men did to skyrocket their fortunes. The most American thing. So you have to learn about it. I forget the exact quote, but Mark Twain maybe said that all the gold rushers were fail sons of older American fortunes. They bummed around and got into the gold rush to make their dads proud or something. It sucks to realize contemporary comparisons sometimes. The pulsing knowledge that time is concurrent. People just use different words and wore different clothes. You're telling me that the gold rush felt like all those fuckers in Carhartt investing in NFTs? There's just no saloons or horse-drawn carriages. All these fuckers all around me, man, would have been gold panners in the past. Fuck. The metaphor is total. All these fuckers. Fuck. Anyway, since we learned about the gold rush, we also had to learn about how people got to California. And obviously, this isn't a testable conversation. There were already people in California. Native Americans, Mexicans, hell, even some white people were out there too. Once researching California, I found out that Russians walked over the Bering Strait or something, and they walked all the way down to California. That may be true, but I'm probably getting the times wrong. But the people who weren't already there had to traverse the country in covered wagons, in multiple families. A wagon with wheels, wooden wheels, with nothing to cover them to bolster the shock of a rugged trail. At a coffee shop recently, I sat next to a decorative wagon wheel posted up on a wall. Looking at it, it was just a hole with sticks starring out around it like sun rays in a wooden circle. Damn, I thought, that thing got people across this great nation of ours? That sucks. This is what you also learn in school, how the past was different. And at school, you have to learn about covered wagons. They were boxes with wheels and an arched canvas exterior making a tall mini room where you, my teacher would say, would sit with your family and another family while your mother and father steered the wagon outside in the blistering sun. And you had to wear hats from burning, but you still burned because there were no sunscreen then. A horrific thought. And maybe your sister or your brother would die, and you'd have to bury their small bodies on the side of this trail, this foreign road, engulfed by nothingness. Now, the reason you were on this trail was to go out west. West, my mother's last name. And they would teach you the only way to cross the Mississippi River was to go west through the prairies. The psychic void of the North American continent, settled in the middle of the country, the psychic river between Eastern civilization and Western possibility. To explain this concept in history class, my teachers would literally be like, okay, the sun sets in the west, and that's the metaphor for the future. Okay. The sunset represents the future? Let's meditate on that. Instead of the east, where the sun rises, arguably a more direct metaphor for the future, you are told that because the sun sets in the west, that's actually the metaphor for the future. What? A metaphor for longing for tomorrow? The darkness? Like the death cult all American industry lends itself to. When the sun sets, that's where we're going. What the hell are you talking about? Go through the prairies to the death cult of the future west. And there you are, in the middle of endless swaths of grass. Endless, endless, like being in the middle of the ocean, sparse terrain of grass and sky and air, nothing else. And where are you going? And when does it end? And you have to traverse the depth of the native quadrangle of the prairies, arguably a place only the Native Americans ever understood. I stand by that, and I think Kevin Costner agrees with me. See Dances with Wolves. It's a nightmare to think that a Caucasian civilization settled there. They never got the hang of it. I mean, look at it now. Who lives in the Dakotas now? Not a lot. But you muse on the geography, the ethno-geographic history of the prairies, and you quickly see the most powerful Native American tribes inhabited it. And in fact, these tribes occupied the largest amount of square miles. These square miles, its colonial settlers couldn't conquer and still can't. As a child, I could hardly read or write, and everyone was trying to get me into it. But in the 3rd grade, I was finally given a book, Sarah Plain and Tall. And I could read this book not because I liked it, but because it was scary to me. It evoked an essential terror of which I previously could not articulate. Sarah, Plain and Tall, is about a white woman who answers a newspaper listing to become a wife for a family who recently lost their mother. In the Wikipedia page for this book, it literally describes her as a mail-order bride. Sarah is, well, plain and tall and blonde, of course, evoking the imagery of the tall grasses surrounding the small house she was chosen to live in. This pioneer family lives in a cabin in the middle of miles and miles of grass, and Sarah is, well, weird, obviously, and fails to connect to the children initially, because she speaks incessantly of the sea and is fixated on going back to it, because she's in this landlocked sea of grass now. But in this, Sarah personifies the settler's uneasiness in this psychic void. Sarah, in my memory, is often seen on the porch, listening to the tall grasses rustle in the wind, reminding her of the sea, of the coasts. She's bizarre, Sarah is, and homeless, essentially, and scares the kids, but eventually her quirkiness is embraced by the family, and her weirdness, which could arguably be characterized as some form of psychosis, is seen rather as a magical characteristic, a curlicue, lilting the family's signature. But it always occurred to me and stuck in my memory, this image of her on the porch pretending the sound of grass was waves. The relentless hell she was communicating of being in the middle of this vast land, a mutated agoraphobia, the fear of large spaces, to hole up and return to a small one, a home. Sarah represents the true homelessness we all feel as Americans. All people who came here and weren't already here by being chronically obstructed by a nature determined to kill us. A nature we can't quite and never will understand. And without a relationship to the land, we go into the mind to live by way and of dreaming instead, because we can't figure out what to do with all this nature. We ignore the call of the land to obliterate us. We settle ever so on the moment of darkness before sunrise to represent our future, because no place wants us. Sarah doesn't make it to the coast like the other people in covered wagons that looked like her. She gets engulfed in her imagination, imagining the sea, because no one else wants her. This old world will never change the way it's been, and all of the ways of war can't turn it back again. I've been searching for the dolphins in the think of me. Now I'm not the one to tell the world how to get along. Oh, and I know that peace will come when all the hate is gone. I've been searching for the dolphins in the sea. And sometimes I wonder, do you ever think of me. And you know, sometimes I think about Saturday's child and all about the time when we were running wild. I've been searching for the dolphins in the sea. And sometimes I wonder, do you ever think of me? This old world may never change. This old world may never change. Oh. I have a crazy question, just really quick. How many times have any of you put on the My Bloody Valentine album Loveless to have sex? And how many times have you put it on to make that guy or gal you're having sex with feel pretty special? For me, that's about 2 or 3 guys. Just a thought. Okay, let's get into it. The atomic bomb. People often forget the atomic bomb was detonated first in America, in the desert. And on that night, not represented in the movie Oppenheimer, what happened was that violence, you guys hear me when I say this, violence accelerated through every dimension of time. And accelerated in all dimensions to perpetuate simultaneously in parallel timelines. Yeah. And this violence, using quantum law, increased perpetually every year through parallel time. And the violence increased exponentially. You feel me, man? And now what I'm asking is it a coincidence that 70 years later, men can't have sex? The more the violence increased, the more men's penises began to act hysterical, softening like a hysterical woman on a couch in protest of the violence we created. Okay. New material. Okay, girlina. Pacina. Give it up for Leah Hennessy. She's my director, ladies and gentlemen, too. And guitarist, and doing this, too. Fucking crazy. Okay, are we ready to rock? Brokeback Mountain. Are you ready to rock? Yellow guitars out. We're ready to rock, folks. Okay. You ready to rock, Leah? Okay. Brokeback Mountain. Some nights are cold. Not only because they are, but because you are too. You're looking at the infinite night of your life, an impasse of limitless humps on a dark Vermont road. Jesus. And then something sort of, well, miraculous happens. You see the green hum of an alien abduction in the middle of the road, or the violet celestial presence of the Virgin Mary. Sometimes that happens when you're right around dying inside. And this was that kind of time. The pandemic hit me hard. Nearly destroyed me, folks. I was living in the middle of Bushwick with a suicidal cabaret performer. And I was seeing in secret a brilliant alcoholic boyfriend as he was spiraling into paranoia that I was cheating on him with a 20-year-old, which I was. My humble acting career was totally upended, and my life was petty and dramatic, and I yearned for something concrete to rely on. But unlike millions of people in a similar position, I did nothing about it. Socially, I feel like the pandemic was pretty romantic, honestly. I was walking through Central Park alone. I learned how to bike on empty New York streets. I painted murals in my own apartment on my own walls. But the reality was, when regulations were lifted, I was left with a new life. I started over, and I was way far out confused at what life I was looking at. It was January 2022. It's cold, and there's maybe nothing to live for. Not really. I don't have a memory of what I was living for anyway. It was dark. I was talking to my best friend, Leah over here, on the phone. And on 1 hour of our conversation, we mutually discovered we'd never seen Brokeback Mountain, which is bizarre to us, given our interest in homoerotic male dynamics in film, literature, TV, etc. We decided at that moment we would watch it together, pressing play on our TVs at the same time. In this movie, Heath Ledger comes to meet this other cowboy, Jake Gyllenhaal, like every year on Brokeback Mountain. We all know they go up to this mountain and have sex, brutal and quiet and cold, with gorgeous, sweeping guitar music, also brutal and cold. And Heath Ledger's gorgeous, and weirdly there's only one hot sex scene, and that's a whole other issue. The real crux of the film relies on the fact that the course of their adult lives, they continue to meet each other on Brokeback Mountain. And it literally goes on for decades, and obviously, eventually, their wives catch on. Heath Ledger's wife, Michelle Williams, is totally destroyed by it and divorces him. Meanwhile, Jake Gyllenhaal's character, seemingly more flamboyant and financially well off, Heath lives in a trailer, has a situation with his wife, Anne Hathaway, that's more chill and focused on keeping the family together, turning a blind eye to his homosexual dalliances. However, once they're middle-aged, Jake is pressuring Heath more and more to move to a remote location together and have a ranch or something. And Heath insists they can't do that due to the fact he's afraid they'll be murdered. The fear is punctuated by an ambient flashback of Heath's father taking him to a dry ravine to see the dead body of a gay man when he was a kid. He's afraid because of that damn dead body in that damned ravine. And then Jake Gyllenhaal gets gay bashed to death and ends up like the body of Heath's memory, dead in a ravine. Upon finishing the film, I was angry with Heath Ledger. I was confused. It didn't hit. That was Brokeback Mountain. Namely because I remembered this movie as being heralded as like the first gay film to win an Oscar or something. Yet it so wasn't about gay desire, I felt. It was about that flashback. It was about that flashback of that dead homosexual in the ravine. The dead homosexual in that ravine, and the endlessly returning back to it. Imagining the small body of Heath Ledger's childhood character looking endlessly at that man, the person who is no longer alive but dead, at the bottom of that dried ravine. That moment, I would say, was a moment time fractured. The moment in which God is revealed, molecules appear in brilliant dimensionality. Life and death and science and time are revealed and not explained at all, in which you realize science is the strange dance of time and God talking to each other directly, the strange exhale of some foreign power. On the phone with my friend, something overcame me, a docile assertiveness. You know, I said, this movie has nothing to do with being gay. Brokeback Mountain is about the Native American genocide. I believe that Americans are prone, if not exceptional at channeling texts from higher spirits and God. This is not new or an exclusively American phenomenon. The Greeks were possessed by gods, as we know, demised gods, muses, etc. The Chinese Tao was channeled. People have channeled texts for millennia, right? So I'm not saying Americans are the only people to have done it, but we perfected it. Channeled text, also referred to as interdictation in the American New Age, I view like baseball. It looks a hell of a world similar to 1,000 different games, but once it came to America, it became a fucking sport. And like baseball, that to a layman's eye could look like crickets or even rounders. Channeled dictation looks absolutely different through an American body. What is occult, weird, and dismissible elsewhere becomes essential text here. I was laying in my bed on a cold January night and I uttered the words, Brokeback Mountain is about the Native American genocide. The reason Heath Ledger can't love Jake Gyllenhaal is because the land doesn't love him. He can only go back to that moment in the ravine with the dead gay guy, his personal moment of fracturing, his inciting incident. He can only return to his inciting incident. But the inciting incident of the land, man, was the genocide of the people who tended that land, the Native American. And compulsively, we all go back again and again to our personal inciting incidents. We repeat until it's different, and culturally, we must compulsively go back to our cultural inciting incident, which in America is the first blow to the Native peoples. And we're all individually making art about our personal individual inciting incidents. We're all trying to muse or be close or create moments in which time fractures. We do that unconsciously. So the Native American genocide unconsciously penetrates the core of all American unconscious culturally. Heath Ledger is to the dead man in the ravine what American culture is to the Native American genocide. Therefore, all of American art is about the Native American genocide. It's our cultural unconscious, and we're retelling its story forever and ever, discreetly in many ways. We can't get over it. It's the trauma of the land because we killed the sky god. And that's the God that's watching over us. It's why we're paranoid. Because the ghost of the God we killed is observing us right now. It's why we invented Hollywood. The cameras, the surveillance, the violence we can't stop repeating. This is why we have the largest military in the world. In America, your choice is to become a movie star or a soldier. Because we have to either be violent or be observed. Because of the God, the ghost of the God, it's watching us. Because it's a God we don't understand. Because we killed it before we could. We're constant foreigners on this land. Forever. Talking to a God and a culture we desecrated. Oh yeah.
shelter on the front porch, dandelion sun scorching like a glass of cold lemonade. And I will do the laundry while you pay all the bills. Where is my John Wayne? Where is my dirty soul? Where is my happy ending? Where have all the cowboys gone? Why don't you stay the evening? Sit back and watch the TV. I'll fix you a little something to eat. Oh, one of your back hurts from working on the tractor. How do you like your coffee, my sweet? And I will raise the children if you pay all the bills. Where is my John Wayne? Where is my dirty soul? Where is my happy ending? Where have all the cowboys gone? I am wearing a new dress tonight, but you don't even know what else me. Say goodbyes, say goodbyes, say goodbyes, say goodbyes. Then you sold the Chevy when we had another baby. You took that job in Tennessee. You made friends at the farm, you meet them at the bar, almost every day of the week. And I will do the dishes while you go have a beer. Where is my John Wayne? Where is my dirty soul? Where is my happy ending? Where have all the cowboys gone? Where is my Marlboro Man? Where is his shiny gold? Where is my Lonely Ranger? Where have all the cowboys gone? Yippee-yay, 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 Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's a crazy song. Okay, you guys. This is the last piece of the evening. Buckle up, buttercups. Cool. There's just corn. I need like a sip of water. Get ready, because this last crazy piece is about porn. And Leo was saying that on TikTok, porn addiction is referred to as corn addiction, actually, to like bypass the censorship thing. So it's fucking cool we have corn up here. Okay, cool. Crazy how things work like that. Okay, so cool. Let's get into it. Me. I've always, arguably for astrological reasons, maybe, I've seen sex as sacred. This is rather unfortunate for someone with as much voluminous hair as I have. This attachment to the sacred has reduced my body count by hundreds, if not thousands. I can't tell if it's my natural spiritual associations with sex that directly correlates to my historical lack of watching porn, but I wouldn't be surprised. Because, you guys, I've never really watched porn. And when I say this out loud, I cringe and I quickly follow up with, well, of course, I've watched it. It's just not a part of my routine. I've seen like 5 porns. And I've played like video games like twice. And that's totally correlated. True. Oh. And I can't talk about either with actual knowledge, video games or porn. I'm blind to it, and therefore blind to a huge part of the cultural conversation, don't you think? I'm basically an Amish person in the porn sense. Oh, like that. I've watched 5 or 6 porns, 4 or 5 or 6, max 10, for research, literally. And this fact I think is actually pretty cool about myself. I'm righteous about it. Yeah, I'm that moron that's gonna hit you with, actually, if you're gonna ask me, I only really get into porn from the 70s. Because, I'm gonna be honest, I actually only like porn from the 70s. Everyone hates me, wants me dead, it's okay. I'm gonna come out and say it. I'm anti-porn. And I'm anti-porn for the reasons you think of. I think porn has raped men of their erotic desires and nuanced relationship to their own sexualities. In a word, porn has made fucking guys really difficult. And honey, I'm into fucking guys. And there's this illusion that also women don't watch porn, and we know that's a lie. I don't really want to get into this, but I will. Okay, I'm going to throw you a statistic. How about that? You want a statistic, right? A statistic. Here I go. It's like trotting out an old pony in a petting zoo. Dum, dum, dum. I'm a zookeeper. No, 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 come out here, girly. That's what I'm saying to the statistic. Hey, come out here, girly. They need a statistic in the show. Okay, here's a statistic. 3 out of 10 consumers of porn on Pornhub is female. Yeah. But fuck that, too. Because I also don't think that's some kind of liberation, either. I also think that's taking away women's sexualities, too. Sorry, I know no one wants to hear this. But besides those reasons, my main gripe with porn is when I'm searching porn. What I'm noticing and what I'm seeing on the porn websites is people pretending to be Americans. And quite honestly, hell, on that metric, I'm anti-porn because, well, I'm patriotic. First of all, I'm seeing a lot of girls with some weird valley accents in these porn, you know what I'm saying? And this chick, I'm looking at this chick and she's doing sort of a bad job at sex. And she's pretending to be American. And like, I think, oh my God! Is that how the rest of the world thinks Americans have sex? Like that? Rude. Like, I get it. This chick is sucking this guy's dick, like, technically well, but she's not good at it, you know? She's, like, you can be technically good at sex and not be good at it, you know? Obviously, what are we in the 4th grade? Like, if I'm watching porn, I want to see a girl on her knees, praying on her knees to some far-out star. If I'm gonna watch porn, I want a sex image where I can see a lady's soul edge out of her body. Because if I'm gonna watch sex, I'm hunting for the soul. Because sex, ladies and gentlemen, is about soul. I wrote this. Okay. No matter how you cut it. So why would I watch that stuff with all this ladies being dead behind the eyes when we're dealing with a subject intrinsically linked to the soul? Why would you consume a sideways parody of yourself when what you really want to see is a soul? What I'm getting at, ladies and gentlemen, we as Americans are all sex gods. In America, we live in a far-out, dangerous culture. I get it. And what I'm about to say is way far out, but like, Americans should fuck, right? And shouldn't we be good at it? We are radical electric beams. We are singular and weird. We are altered. We are mutants. And how dare we subject ourselves to these images that mock us, make us into pale comparisons of the real thing, the American real thing, the wildness, the torture, the limit, the nothingness, the lack of beauty everywhere, the splendor, the spiritual ecstasy that compromises our tortured vision of God. We work hard as Americans. We work too hard as Americans to have our sexuality, our libidinal arsenal taken away from us. To have our government continue to destroy countries and itself in the name of amassing the largest military in the world. We work too hard, and we are too embarrassed to have our libidos taken away from us by these insane imitations of ourselves. To touch yourself to a bizarre photocopy of your own soul's image. But it's you who they imitate. The American, the violent, freedom freak show, the uranium divide, the green ooze of magical spell, the above all else, the manic rant, the imitation, and though no one is free, and though we are not, we cannot lose track of who we are. We cannot not fuck. We cannot not fuck as war rages on, as war spreads. We cannot humiliate ourselves to imagine these people in porn are better at sex than yourself. Because you are a sex god. We are American sex gods. Can't stop, addicted to the shindig. Shop top, it says I'm gonna win big. Choose not a life of imitation. Distant cousin to the reservation. Defake the pistol that you pay for. This punk, the feeling that you stay for. In time, I want to be your best friend. Eastside love is living on the west end. Knocked out, but boy, you better come to. Don't die, you know the truth as some do. Go write your message in the pavement. Burn so bright, I wonder where the wave went. Red heat is even in the jungle. Complete the motion if you stumble. Go ask the dust for any answers. Come back strong with 50 belly dancers. World, I love the chills I drop to be part of the wave. Can't stop. Ever wonder if it's all for you? The world, I love the trains I hop to be part of the wave. Can't stop. Come and tell me when it's time to snow cone. So smart, she's leading me to ozone. Music, the great communicator. Use 2 sticks to make it into nature. I'll get you into penetration. The gender of a generation. The birth of every other nation. The gold of meditation. This chapter's gonna be a close one. Smoke rings, I know you're gonna blow one. All on a spaceship persevering. Use my hands for everything but steering. The top, the dots when they need you. Mop tops are happy when they feed you. Jay butterflies in the treetops. Birds that blow the meaning into people. World, I love the tears I drop. Be part of the wave, can't stop. Ever wonder if it's all for you? The world, I love the trains I hop to be part of the wave, can't stop. Come on, tell me when it's time to. Can start the golden generator. Sweet talk, but don't intimidate her. Can't stop the gods from engineering. Feel no need for any interfering. Your image in the dictionary. This life is more than ordinary. Can I get one, maybe even 3 of these? Coming from space to teach you from the Pleiades. Can't stop the spirits when they need you. This life is more than just a read-through. Read through, read through, read through, read through, read through. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop. Thank you, everybody. I love you, all of you. Give it up for Leah Hennessy, director, guitarist, backup, video. Give it up for Jack Kilmer, guitarist, and integral vibe. I love you, all of you. Also, you guys, I'm playing a show with Loren Kramar a week from today, Valentine's Day show. And Richard Perez also has a show coming up in March. His one-man show, it's fucking brilliant. You guys have to check that out, you guys. This is my new material. I appreciate every single one of you coming. And I hope you had a fabulous night. I love you! I really do. Thank you.